Up doing it. Good morning, everybody. Through the chat service, you know, the chat service that Spectrum has, so I use that. What we're talking about is hopefully we should not have any internet issues today because I've worked out whatever was going on here with Spectrum. But of course, I couldn't get a person on the phone, and the lines at Spectrum was huge. But the chat person, super helpful. I could just do it from here. No skin off my teeth. It was great. Good. So good morning, everybody. I'm going to see if I can find you here online. Today we're going to work on hips. You shouldn't need any, right? These hips don't lie. You shouldn't need any props other than a blanket if your knees are sensitive. That should really be it. A lot of this practice is on the floor. We will do, I think, 3 maybe standing poses. And the rest is just really deep postures. And, you know, you would think that one of them might be pigeon, but actually none of them are pigeon, which is hilarious. Because we just took it out because we do that so often. I didn't want the hip class to be like every other hip class, so we put some new stuff in and took some old stuff out. I don't know how much you're going to be digging the new stuff because you're going to be like, walking like John Wayne out of here, but it's all good. Cool. Let's see what's going on here.
Did you?
Here we are. Oh, and I'm right side up. Thank heavens.
I saw the shaded side left, but that's okay. At least I'm not.
Yay! Good morning, Jeannie. Good morning, Julie. I have missed you too. Good morning, Brian. Thank you for my sunshine. Good morning, Barbara. And I love that you say good morning, sunshine. That everybody has just related that sunshine's my thing. I did know you needed hip work. I think we all needed hip work. So, everybody, check in with me online while I check in with people here. Good morning, Michelle. Nice to see you. Christy, how's your body? Good. Corinne, how's your body?
Good.
Batu? Okay.
A little sore, but I'm here.
You're here. So,
Well, thank you.
well, I like well, thank you. I like that. So, let's see. Jeannie. It's skipping a teeny bit, but much better than last week so far. Well, thank Lord for that.
How's your body, Michelle?
My body's good, thank you. It was well enough for me to get up and do all of this for you.
Gold.
Yeah, what's with that?
I made an effort to put on lipstick and actually braid my hair.
Why?
Because the camera.
Because of the
goes
camera,
throughout.
and I was against this, and I was washed completely out. That color. And last week I wore a peach shirt that I love. So it was a peach shirt, and it was just like moving pants.
Yeah, you're
It would have been more than just pants, so I wore a darker shirt too.
That's interesting.
All right, and then again, this is it's frozen here, but I do know that the camera's still working, so I can't overly
You've learned
depend
so much
on
about
this. Oh, I know, right? It's such an education.
Jeez, beyond yoga.
Yes, so there's the whole technology thing.
Yeah.
And my sunshininess tends to blow up everything. Anyway, good morning, my dear. That space is your space. Feel free to just join in wherever you like. How's your body? Just checking in? Great. Great. All right. So let's get... My knee is wonky. It's still wonky, so that's why I have the blanket out. For those of you who, I think I might have mentioned this already before, I hurt my knee literally just kicking the covers off in bed. I think I'm the only person I know that could hurt their knee while laying in bed. I'm gifted that way.
You're always setting an example.
I'm just gifted that way. So we're going to start by just settling in. They're so cute. I'm so glad they came. We're going to let the head come forward, feel the back of the neck stretch. We set the intention here, what we'd like to accomplish in our practice, checking in with our body. Now, not just our physical body, but we have a mental body and an energetic body, an emotional body, a physical body. And not all of those are doing amazing at the same time. And so maybe your mental body is a hot mess today, but your body's doing okay. So maybe that's where your focus is. Nice full breaths so that you can just calm down if you need to. So you set that intention. And then with those eyes still closed, because we're more aware of the body, we're going to see if we can pull the shoulders back a little bit. Now, as you start to pull the shoulders back and you begin to sit back, you feel all the weight pushed down into the sits bones. And once they get down into the sits bones, you're able to really identify with where your hips are. A lot of times we identify with hips as the width of it, or how big your keister is or isn't, but it's all of it. It's the sides, it's the front, it's the back, it's the connection of the hamstring, it's the connection of the quads in the front. We're going to try to hit all of those places, but try to etch in your mind right now for the practice where those sits bones are. Because we have a lot of attachments that are there, muscularly and mentally, might I add. And we're going to try to work through that. So we're going to open the eyes, we're going to lace the fingers together, press out, lift up, nice tall spine, open through the heart. And then as we release, we're going to turn to the right, tall spine, really big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let the left shoulder drop over towards left knee, right hand comes up, opening through that rib cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back up, back to the center. Hands come out and up. Nice tall spine here. And turn to the left. Really lengthen the body. Good morning, Frank. We miss you not being here. Happy that you checked in. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Caitlin. Oh, wow. Lots of you. So happy that you're here. 3, 4, 5. Right shoulder comes down. Left hand comes up. I will laugh my keister off, Frank, if you tell me you're watching this from your fishing boat. Wednesday's his fishing day. And 3, 4. Really lengthen through side body. Try to push that left hip down towards floor. 5. Contract to come up. And back to the center. Now once we make it back to the center, we're going to lengthen out. Nice forward fold here. Lengthening through the crown of the head. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, we're going to slowly come back up. Should feel pretty good. We're going to change the cross of those legs. Nice work. Now, right arm comes down. Lengthen through side body, opening through the rib cage. Turn that armpit up so we feel that side body really, really stretch. Lengthen. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand comes up. Bend at the elbow. Nice big stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unwind and lengthen. Slowly we come up. Left arm comes down. Right arm reaches. Oh my gosh. Remember how I said I was going to laugh if he was watching from the fishing boat? His response is, start laughing. We're going to stretch him out so he can pull those fish in a little better. 3, 4, 5. Hand comes up, bend the elbow, and twist it through. And nice big stretch. Oh my goodness. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to unwind and lengthen. Contract through that right side as we come up. Hands come behind. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the chest up. Open through the throat. Lift pelvic belly. Pull the navel in. Really big stretch here. Forward folding, hands come up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We're gonna put those hands down as we come up, back so the hands come together. Roll that back body. Nice big stretch. 2, 3, 4, 5. And gently release. We're gonna put the bottoms of those feet together. Sit up super tall. Good morning, Miss Debbie. Good morning, Jackie. Oh my goodness, nice to see you guys. What did you say her name was? What was that from? Romper Room. Oh, that's where we're like Romper Room, calling everybody's name out. And lengthen forward.
I was like, who's she talking about? I don't know.
We talked about that
What's
last
her name? I
week.
don't know.
And lengthen through the crown of the head. Now this is that first pose. I mean, we already had that pose where we're feeling the side body, and this space here above that waistline really affects the hip. But when we get into this cobbler's pose, we really notice the difference. It's called Baddha Konasana in the Sanskrit name. Baddha meaning bound, because you're hanging onto your feet. Konasana means angles, so we have angles here. So it's bound angle pose. That's what it translates to in Sanskrit.
Where are most people feeling this?
I'm sorry?
Where are most people feeling this?
A lot of people feel it
That's
here, and then if some people have tight QLs and lower back, they're going to feel it right here with the sacrum. But the majority of the people are going to feel it right here.
Oh, good. I'm like, kind of normal.
So we're going to try to address all those muscles around, the inside, the outside, all through it. Now as we come up, we're going to let the knees come up. We're going to cross, pull, really stretch to the back, opening through the shoulder blades. Nice work here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the knees up. We're going to change that cross and really push and pull here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to bring those knees back in. Now, once we get those knees back in, we're going to reach down, grab that right foot. We're going to see if we can extend it up. So we're absolutely stretching that hamstring. Well, shoot. I have a black dog that has very little white, but yet all of those white hairs ended up on my pants, which just means I can't see the black ones, which is, yeah, God bless him. I love him. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, because we're trying to access all the muscles in the leg, we're going to try to sit up really tall, still holding left knee, but allow it to come out to a 45. This one's going to be like good morning. Sit up tall, feel happy. We're going to want to bend our backs. We want to sit up tall. Good job, ladies. You're doing good.
Wow.
3, 4, 5. We're going to bring that leg up. We're going to put that right foot down. Left comes up. Nice tall spine. We're going to feel the hamstring immediately kick in. Nice tall spine, lifting pelvic floor. Pull that belly back in towards the body. Nice straight spine. Where's your breath? 3, 4, 5. We're going to allow the leg to come out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to bring that leg back in. We're going to put that foot down, drop those knees over to the left. So now we're internally rotating. We were just trying to externally rotate, opening it through legs, and we're really getting through the IT band. We're trying to push that right hip down and in. Let's see, we've got Vanessa. Yay! Hello, Vanessa. Nice full breath. And 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to bring those knees up and over to the other side. Tall spine, really pressing down through left hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to bring those knees up. We're going to extend those legs out. Nice long stretches here. So we're going to hollow out the belly. And as we hollow out the belly, we have these hip creases here. This is where we're bending. We're not bending at the belly. So nice tall spine coming forward. Maybe we can grab those toes and help pull ourselves. Find your breath here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back up. We're going to let the right leg come over the left. And lean in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we come up, we're going to let that foot come next to the knee. Rotate to the right. Super tall spine. Find your breath here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming back to the center, grabbing that foot and rocking it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From there, we're going to place that foot on the inside of the thigh, really tall here. So we're going to isolate just that left hamstring. As we fold forward, you're going to feel that hamstring kick in. Maybe this is as far as you get, and that's okay. Maybe you can get down a little further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as we come up, we're going to take the torso, turn it towards that right knee. Once we have the torso towards right knee, we're going to allow the left shoulder to come towards left knee. So I'm going to just kind of bring my arm across so it's out of the way and slowly start to do this side stretch. Then we're going to allow the arm to come up. So my left shoulder goes to my left knee. My right hand is up in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're breathing and smiling. 5. Slowly we come up. We place that right hand behind as we lengthen and stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Booty comes right back down. All right, we're going to put that foot on the thigh and then bring the knee up, right knee down. Tall spine. Do what you can. You're doing great with the cast on, sweet pea. Tall spine, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and gently release and bounce it out. We're going to take that left leg and come over and lengthen it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we're going to come up. Foot comes next to the knee and rotate to the left. Really tall spine here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to come back to the center. Grab that foot, rock it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to take that foot, place it on the inside so we're nice and tall, folding at that hip crease, forward towards toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as we come up, we're going to turn torso towards left knee. Once we get torso towards left knee, we're going to allow right shoulder to slowly drop. So we're going to let that shoulder start to sink. Left hand comes up. Then maybe it can come all the way over, but again, it can stay just straight up. 1, 2, 3, Where's your breath? 4, be smiling. Lifting pelvic floor, pulling navel in. 5, as we come up, left hand is behind. We lengthen and open through side bodies. Nice full breath. Feel that waistline open. And gently release it down. We're going to take that left foot and place it in the thigh. And then from there, we're going to bend that right knee and put that left knee down. Nice work here, feeling that rotation. So we're rotating that left leg. That's what we're working on. Depending on how tight that hip is how much grief you're going to get. And a lot of times you're like, oh, well, my ankle hurts. Well, your ankle hurts because the hip is so tight that it's pulling down on that ankle. Your hip should be loose enough that the ankle can sit on the thigh. So don't blame it on your ankle. It's the hip. And gently release and bounce it out. Morning, cat. All right, now from here we're going to do some reclined postures. There is one posture that looks a little complicated once we lay down. It's hard for you to see it. So I'm going to show it to you before you guys lay down. So we're going to do a pose here in a moment where we do this. So it's basically recreating what we just did seated. But then when we're done, we're going to take this foot and move it from the knee to here. So it's just laying on the ground when we pull up. But that instruction for me to tell you to take it off the knee and put it under the knee can be confusing if you can't see what I'm doing. So that's what we're going to do, and the purpose is to open this hip flexor. All right? So let's all lay back. Pull those knees in. Arms come out to the side. Maybe a little rock from side to side here. We're going to allow those knees to drop over to the left. Nice big rotation. We feel the work through side body into hip. Now we're going to see if maybe we can extend that left leg out. No, it's the right leg. Extend that right leg out into your left hand. You're definitely going to feel all this work here on the side body kick in all the way down to the knee. Try to let that right shoulder stay in contact with the floor. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to release. Bring those knees back to the center. Over to the right. Nice big stretch. We feel the side body open, hip open. Extend that left leg out and put it in the right hand. Absolutely. Whole leg starts kicking in, especially from the knee up. Through the outside of the hip, all the way up a little bit into the back, into glute medius, just a little bit. Keep that left shoulder on the floor. Where's your breath? I know you're aware of the muscle that's screaming at you, but are you aware of every place your body's currently touching the mat or carpet? Gently release that foot, bring those knees in. We're going to grab the feet, pull into Happy Baby. Now with Happy Baby, this is that opportunity to recalibrate the hips. Both hips are doing the same thing at the same time, so it centers you back out. It has a chance to take any fatigue out of lower back, to try to help compress and realign that sacrum. And now we've had those hips stretch, we're going to take that right leg. So remember when we were seated earlier, we pulled the leg out to a 45. We're going to do the same thing. So left hand stays in place, but right leg and right hand kicks out to right. And you're going to feel that a little more towards the inside and back of the leg. Now keep in mind, the hamstring has 3 muscles. The quadriceps, why they call it quad, has 4. We have muscles on the insides of the legs, the outsides of the legs. We just group them together and call them abductors and adductors. But you can really feel where this is starting to move to the inner thigh. We're going to bring right knee in, left leg comes out. Are you still breathing? We're allowing ourselves to be so focused on the postures and on the breath that we stop stewing on the things that are going on in our daily life, so that when we come back to them, it's a fresh start, and maybe it's a whole reset, like this really wasn't a big deal. I don't know why I was just stewing on it. Or maybe the perfect answer or solution comes to you here. We're going to bring that leg back in. We're going to cross them to just bring it in a little bit. We're going to grab those ankles, pull them down towards floor, pulling up. Releasing the tissues in lower back. You can feel this working glutes. Change the cross. Pull them down and in so that we can stretch the other glute. And gently release. So both feet are on the floor. So this is that posture I showed you before we reclined. We're going to take the right ankle and place it on the left knee first. So a lot of time this is called Reclined Pigeon, wind releasing posture. It's got all kinds of weird names. But we're going to pull that left knee in and really pull it into the chest. So when you pull that left knee in, that right ankle's coming towards your chest. You feel that right hip say, oh, good morning. 2, 3, we're smiling. 4, 5. So we're going to gently release, and we're going to take that right foot and place it on the floor under the knee. So the leg kind of looks like how a 4 would look, right? Now, with that right leg, just rotating out and laying on the floor, but the ankle being somewhere under where your left knee would be, we're going to pull that left knee in. And you wouldn't think that would make a difference, but boy, does it. We want to keep the left foot and the right foot flexed. You're going to feel that opening here in that hip flexor. So where you have the psoas coming down and through and having attachments, and the quads coming past, coming in attached. You're going to feel that. Really, quadratus femoris? Quadratus femoris. Can't remember. It'll come to me. But that muscle will cross over and connect up here. So that allows you to bend the knee up, right? And we're really stretching the heck out of it. We're going to let that left foot come down and come back. Whew. We're going to take left foot, put it on right knee. Pull right knee in and stretch it into the chest. So this work that we're doing here reclined is the exchange for the pigeon, because we typically always do the pigeon. And with pigeon pose, some people that have knee issues find that it's very difficult to do. When you do these postures reclined, it gives your knees a little bit of break. Still very effective. We're going to allow that right foot to come down. We're going to place that left foot on the floor. That ankle ends up kind of under where your right knee would be. Definitely big opening going on in left hip. Find the breath. Now let's see if we can bring that right knee into the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release, put that foot down. Bring those legs back to center. Nice work. So we're going to windshield wiper the legs. Back and forth. Should feel pretty good. And now we want to balance all that out. So we're going to bring those feet parallel. You want your feet to be close enough to your booty. You could probably touch them with your fingers. And we're going to press down through the feet and lift the hips. Now by pressing down energetically through the feet, we lift, back bend happens. We don't have to think, tighten glutes, tighten hamstrings. It just does. We're lengthening through the front of body. Where's your breathing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Imagine you are holding a block between your knees. Full breath. 5. We're going to slowly roll down. Take a pause. Feel the muscles in the back return to their shape. Pull the knees in. Cross at the ankles. Roll it up. Nicely done. We're going to come back up. Oh, nice. People are checking in. Nice.
Still hanging and had to restart the video because it stopped and restarted from the beginning, but it didn't stop altogether. Wondering if the playback will be better.
Well, we'll see, won't we? And we're going to put those blankets down. Nicely done. And come over. So it may be that I have to let the computer be on the Wi-Fi, but the phone be on the data. We'll figure it out together. So we're going to come to table. Now, from table, we're going to inhale the spine up. And let the belly come down. Nice work. Inhale that spine up. And down. One more time, spine comes up. And down. We're going to shift back, child's pose. See if we can stretch out lower back a little bit. Get those knees, just a little bit of work. Tops of the feet stretch. 3, 4, 5. So from here, we're going to come up to table. Now, our first posture, we're going to bring left knee inside. We're going to allow that right leg to come out to the side. Now, when you bring that leg up, your tendency is going to want to bend that left elbow, but don't. See if we can pull right knee towards our right shoulder, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, lots of work here. And we're going to put that knee down, and we're going to shift a little bit. So now that right knee is in, left leg comes up. We're going to try to pull left knee towards left shoulder, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And put that knee down. Nicely done. We're going to shift back into child's pose to reset. And we're going to come back to table, and from table we're going to come into down dog. Nice and long stretches here. Then it's stretching with those ankles, lengthening through the spine, broaden the back. We let the left foot come to center. We're going to bring that right knee out to the side and over. So very much like when we're going to flip the dog. So we have this nice rotation in the hip. The shoulders are squared off. But we're going to take this knee that's sticking up in the air, and we're going to do circles with it. And in the beginning, it doesn't matter which direction you go, because in a little bit, we're going to change that direction. So let's see if we got 2, 3, 4, 5, change the direction. And there's always going to be a direction where you're like, oh, yep, that's the direction. That's a little harder. Find your breathing. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put that foot down. We're going to put the knees down. Come into child's pose just a little bit so that we can stretch that out. Maybe open and close the hand. So maybe all that hip work wasn't bothering you, but the weight in the wrist was bothering you. So this is that opportunity to open and close, maybe do some wrist circles here, and come back to table. From this table, we're going to come back to down dog. We lift that leg up, bend the knee, so it opens up. Try not to rotate the shoulders. I mean, it happens, but we try not to. And we're going to big circles. And again, doesn't matter which direction you start, because we're going to change in a second. And this hip, for me, it's my tight hip. So my circles kind of look more like ovals, or I'm not really sure what kind of shape I'm making, because it's difficult for me. So you do what you can and you breathe through it. You still feel connected through hands and feet. Change the direction of your circle. And again, there'll be a spot that's like, yikes. Do what you can. If you get tired, rest. Most important here is to breathe. 3, 4, 5. We're going to put that foot down, put those knees down, come right back into child's pose, rest it out. That is a lot of work. A whole lot of work. We want to be able to open through the front of the hips after that work. So we're going to come up onto those knees. We're going to bring those feet in, and we're going to push those hips forward. We're going to open through the chest, open through the heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Contract that belly, looking down at the floor. And gently release. We're going to put those hands down, turn to come into down dog. Now, if your knees are sensitive, leave the blanket here. If you're using one on your mat, because we're going to come to it again, but we want to stand up and get up off the floor for a little bit, kind of a reset. So we bend the knees, gently step over that blanket. Fingertips flat back, forward fold, inhale all the way up, hands come down. Nice work. Perfect opportunity for just one little sip, just one. I tried to color coordinate. Look, that was a lot of effort, y'all. Okay, let's keep this party going. So we're going to work on crescent posture. And then after we work on our crescent posture, we're going to drop the knee. That's why the blanket's still here. So we're going to inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. We're going to gently step that right foot back. So we stay on the ball of that foot. Now from there, we're going to slowly come up. Now we're going to come up, we're going to find our balance first. Before we get those arms involved, we want to make sure we're comfortable with the feet, that the left knee is over that left ankle, then we lift up.
The right foot is forward?
The right foot is behind the left foot.
Are the toes facing forward? Or
Yes, the toes are facing forward. So if you're on the ball of your foot, they have to face forward.
Gotcha.
And the heel is up, so you can really push through the heel. That's a great question. Arms are up, shoulders are back and down. Palms face one another, 1. So we're really trying to open this front of the hip. That's why this posture is in here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to slowly open those elbows. Arms come up, goalpost arms, smile, throats open, looking up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly, we bring those hands down to the floor, and then we drop that right knee down. That's why we left the blanket there. And we're going to slowly come back up. So you see that this is that same posture, except we've taken a knee. And by bringing the knee down, this is really opening down. And that's what we're looking for, is this release. Hands are up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we're going to let that left elbow come down. Right arm comes in and revolve. And lift up. Looking up towards sky, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We gently release. Right hand comes down. Rotate those shoulders. Left hand comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to allow that hand to come back, bend the knee, grab that foot, stretch into that hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. We're going to bring those elbows down. Nice big stretch here for the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do the best you can. Maybe it's just one elbow. Maybe you had to put your elbow on a block at home. 5. And slowly come back. Walk the hands back. And lengthen that left leg. So this lengthening of that left leg back, we're trying to pull right hip forward. There's this squaring off so that you can really feel it in that hamstring. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to allow that left foot to circle back. Right into child's pose to stretch it out. Definitely going to feel the work of that practice. From here, we're going to come back up to table. From table, knees, chest, and chin. Roll it down to the floor. Try to walk the thighs together, and we're going to lift the chest just to open the heart some. This is a little back bending. And when we are in this back bending, when there's contraction in the glutes and in that back, there's lengthening in the front. So that means the fronts of the legs, that lower abdominals, those spaces have to lengthen. The body acts as a pulley system. So when one contracts, the opposite muscle lengthens. And so we're trying to make sure that we're hitting all of those pulleys, so to speak, in the hips. Allow the chest to come down. Maybe a little rock here. From there, we're going to press to table, from table to down dog. Here, right leg travels forward. And we're going to come up into our crescent on the left side. Sinking down, pushing that heel back so we can really open left hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to pull those elbows out, heart turns up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We allow those hands to come down. Left knee comes down. Slowly we work our way up, making sure that we have comfort in that back leg, really opening the left leg. Hands come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right elbow down, left comes in it, and lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release, hands come down. Now from there, we're going to leave that left hand on the floor. Right hand comes up. 1, 2. Really lean into that left thigh. 3, 4, 5. We're going to reach back, bend the knee, grab that foot, pull it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to release that out. Elbows come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. We're going to shift back, lengthen through that leg. Again, you're trying to pull right hip back, left hip forward, squaring them off. Feel that work. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that right knee back. We're going to come back into a child's pose. Feel both sides. Start to even out, balance back out. 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, we're going to come to table. From table, we're going to come back to down dog. From that down dog, we look forward. We're going to gently step forward. Fingertips flat back. Forward folding. Inhale all the way back up. Hands come down. Yay. We made it through that first sequence. Everything else is pretty low-key after that. So we're going to try a chair pose. And it's a little different than normal. Arms come straight out, like you're a zombie, like you're walking, right? Now from here, we're going to bend the knees, send the hips back. Bend the knees, send the hips back. Filling in lower back, so not a sway back, filling it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now as we stand up, we're going to come all the way up onto the balls of the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying on the balls of the feet, we slowly start to come into chair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, we slowly come back up. We're going to put the knees together, hover the feet. So these heels are just hovering off the floor as we sink in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back up. We let those knees come down, hands come down. A lot of work. Let's bring it back down to the floor. Then 2 balances and we're done. Inhaling up. Exhale, forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward folding. We're going to step back to a plank. So you're going to step over that blanket and back. Nice tall spine here. Hanging out in that plank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put the knees down. Chest and chin down. Soften. We're going to put the backs of the hands on the floor so that we get a chance to stretch the wrists. Nice work here. Feel that work. Lift the chest, even with the backs of the hands down, so that you have to rely on the muscles of the chest and the back to lift up, not the hands. 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back down. Palms come down. Come to table. Now, once we get to table, we're going to kick the right foot out, extend the left leg. Left hand comes up, and now see if maybe you can lift this left leg. We want to keep it nice and active. We're working again through this outside of left hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if maybe you can bend that knee, reach back, grab the foot, opening through the heart, through the hip. Where's the breath? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. We're going to release that out. We're going to switch to the other side. Kick that knee out. Kick that right leg out. Right arm comes up. Lift right leg. So really activating here. 1. You've got this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend the knees. See if you can grab that foot. Really open through the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. We're going to put that right hand down, right knee down, knees, chest, and chin. And come down to the floor. Walk those thighs together. We're going to lift that chest up just a little bit. Nice work. So the work we just did with that modified side plank, we're really going to work it more on forearm side plank. So we let the chest come down. We're going to roll to the right side. Right arm is down, feet are stacked. Now, before we ever try to lift the body, we're just going to lift the leg. So we're going to lift that left leg. Now notice that when you lift this left leg, you're going to feel so much pressure here in that right hip. Because what's happening is the body's actually trying to push off that right hip to lift the leg. It cheats, and it does it because it's trying to do what you want it to do. So we're going to gently put that left leg down. We're going to try to make sure just the leg is working. We need to come up into a forearm side plank, but there's a little trick to it. If you bend the knees a little bit before you lift, it's going to help you get up and then lock the legs once you're up. So it's going to go like this. We have those knees bent. We're going to press up and then lock those legs. Left arm is up. And if this is all you've got, do this. If you can lift that left leg, that's what I want you to try to do. 1, 2, 3, smile 2, 4, and 5. We're going to put that left leg down and slowly right hip down and come to the belly. Hang out a little bit, maybe a little rock. So it's one of those things where when your hip was on the floor, you could lift the leg, no problem. And then when you lifted up into side plank, your leg betrayed you and did not lift anymore. So that's what we're trying to work through, is build that strength on the outside of the hip. We're going to roll to that left side. So we're on that left forearm, the feet are stacked, and we're just going to practice lifting that right leg. So we just lift it up. So we feel this work, we feel the contraction for sure, but we definitely feel pressure on that outside of left hip. Try not to sink down into your shoulder, which is great. And we're going to allow that leg to come down. Now we're going to try to lift ourselves up. And if you try to start with those knees just a little micro bend, when you lift up, then straighten the legs, it helps you lift. Right arm comes up. Now see if maybe that right leg will lift. This is the hard side for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm smiling. 5, bring that right leg down, left hip down, come to the belly, wowzers. And relax. Work that hip. Now we want to balance both of those hips out. So we're going to bend both knees, and we're going to see if we can reach back, grab the feet. And if you can't grab the feet, it's okay. You're going to wave at them like this. You're going to be like, hi feet. We do what we can. Walk those knees in, and if you can grab the feet, try to let it be more towards the ankles so that when you pull with those shins, you can lift up. Now, if you're able to do this posture, yes, the chest opens, the shoulder opens, there's a big back bend, but I really want you to pay attention to what would be happening here in the quad. The quad is working because it's trying to pull those hands in a different direction, but yet the glutes and the hamstrings are also contracting because you're in a back bend. So we're really getting those muscles to work, and then gently release, soften those legs down, and take a break. Maybe a little rock from side to side. Now from here, hands under the shoulders, pressing to table, from table to down dog. Now if you have been using the blanket, you won't need it anymore. You can move it to the side. And then from there we're going to bend those knees, look forward, stepping forward, fingertips flat back, forward fold, inhale all the way up. Hands come down. Oh, my goodness. All right, so we're going to end the practice with some balancing. So we're going to start with that humble tree. And the reason we're working with tree is because one leg is going forward, the foot is going forward, and that other leg is rotating out. And we have been really working on rotation in the hip. So we're going to have that left foot, heel, ball, toes. We're going to put all our weight into left leg. Then we're going to see if maybe we can take right foot and place into thigh. So the right heel is pushing into the thigh, left thigh is pushing back into heel, hands come to the heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands come on up. We put on branches. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let those hands come on down and release. My brain starts giggling because it's hurricane season. I'm like, no branches. We got to clean out those branches. It's hurricane season. Because we're all kind of with our balance. Heel, ball, toes, and nice strong tree. And we're going to put that left foot into that right thigh. Hands come to the heart. Nice full breath. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let those hands come up. Grow those branches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let those hands come back. And that hand come down and walk it out. So with my iPhone, when somebody calls that I don't know, it says potential spam, right? I always want to answer and go, Marco, just to see if they would say polo. Because how many times, I did that with my son in the store, Marco, and there'll be somebody randomly in the store who goes, polo, because they've played before, so that's always fun, makes me happy. This last posture that we're going to do before we come to the floor, hand to big toe pose. Hand to big toe pose, that's a lot of commitment. Hamstrings have to be really flexible, so we're going to do the knee instead, except the end. So let me show you what we're going to do first. There'll be a 5 count here, a 5 count here. But when we get here, we're going to extend the leg. That's really going to work the quad. But when let me turn this better view this way. When you extend that leg, we have a tendency to do this, thinking that that's going to help the leg come up. Actually makes it harder. What you should be doing, and if you watch here, there's this tuck. So instead of pushing those hips forward, which makes it harder, you actually pull those hips back. And that will make it a little easier, especially in your lower back, because that's where it gets crampy when you do that, okay? Let's see what we've got. Left foot, heel ball toe, put all the weight. We're going to pull that right knee up. We're going to hang on to it. Pulling in. So it was all about rotation in the hip. 1. So remember, hips even come back a little bit here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're going to allow that to rotate out. So the leg's not as rotating out, but the left hip isn't coming forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to bring that knee forward. So it's better if you go ahead and do that little tuck here. See if you can extend point toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leg comes down and your quad says good morning. I love that pose. Let's switch feet. Right foot, heel, ball, toes. Take that step in. Make sure that you have a good foundation. If you don't, it's okay. Back out of it. Try again. Bring that left knee up. There's that tuck that's going to help you stay firm. There's still that lifting of pelvic floor, pulling belly in. 2, 3, 4, 5. We let that knee go out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to bring it back in. Do that tuck first. Then extend. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to put that leg down, walk it up. Wow, lots of work, right? We're going to come to the front of the mat. We're going to see if we can get a little wide here. Reach over, touch the floor, then slowly see if we can squat down. And releasing that back body. Nice full breath. We really feel that work. And then from there, we're going to slowly sit back, on the booties. We're going to grab those knees, hug them in. And then from there, we're going to roll on back. Knees come into the chest, rocking from side to side. Arms come out to the side. We're going to drop those knees over to the left. Nice twist. And bring those knees back up and over to the right. Back to the center. And then from there, slowly bring those feet down, one at a time. Windshield wiper just a bit. Definitely feel when you bring the leg in towards the mat, the outside of that leg, you'll feel it more. So just pay attention, be very aware of the body as you move. And then we're going to bring those feet in so that we're prepared for a bridge posture. Maybe your fingers can touch those heels. We're going to press down through the feet. Back bend happens, right? We elevate, we pop up. We're trying to open through the chest. Arms are comfortably by the sides. There is a posture in this bridge pose where you can roll the shoulders under. But today we're just going to leave those hands down. Open through the chest. Find your breath. Feel that expansion through front, that contraction in back. 3, 4,
5. We start to roll it back down. Feels good when we make it to the floor. Then from here, we're going to extend one leg and then the other down to the floor. We take a pause before we grab a blanket or a bolster, just to let the body set for a moment. We check back in with the tissues. So we have that body. Remember, we have a physical body, an energetic body, an emotional body, a mental body, and we're just checking in with them. Now, if you like blankets and bolsters, now's the time to put those where you need them. Maybe it's going to go under the backs of your knees. Maybe you like to lay a blanket across your belly to keep that warmth in that you've gained in your practice. That back body sinks down to the floor, and the top body sinks down on back body. We release the feet, the ankles, the shin and calf. We release the knees, the thighs, the glutes and pelvic belly. We release the lower back and navel, mid back and solar plexus, shoulder blades and heart. The hollow of the throat. We lift those collarbones up. We lengthen the neck. Soft breath here. Every inhale, we try to smooth out the tissues of the body. Every exhale, we try to calm all the nervous systems here. Parasympathetic nervous systems on duty, allowing everything to calm down. Feel connected to the ground. Notice the changes in the left and the right side of your body. Still breathing with intention. Still trying to allow the mind to be quiet and not run away with thought. That doesn't mean try to have no thought, because that would be just agony. But have a thought and don't become attached to it and set it aside. We begin to just move the fingers and toes for no other reason than just to feel the intricacies of movement. How complicated these articulated joints really are that we take for granted. Maybe we begin to shift and move a bit. Maybe you grab those arms and stretch above the head, which might cause a yawn. We begin to release, bending those knees, maybe all the way into the chest or just to the bottoms of the feet. Maybe you take another rock from side to side. And then gently rolling to the right side of the body and resting. Slowly we press up to a comfortable seated position.
We gently turn the head to the right, checking in with the neck. We turn the head to the left. And back to the center. Hands come to the heart. We remind ourselves of all the amazing things we have in our lives to be thankful for. We send out love and kindness and compassion to those who need it, and honestly, we all do. And end the practice with an Om, but only if you're comfortable. If not, just enjoy mine. Inhaling. Bowing forward, namaste. Peace be with you. Go safely. And thank you for coming. In person and online, thank you for being here. Yay, yoga. So I'm going to continue to try to work the bugs out. I thought that I had them out. I'm glad to hear that it is better than last week. So maybe by next week, it'll be right as rain. It may be I have to use data and not use Wi-Fi, which is okay. So I really thank you guys. Big love from me to you. If you have ideas of what you'd like to practice next week, leave it in the comments. And when this posts to my Facebook page where I save it, I'll have more comments below and how you can reach me and message me what you would like in the future. Mwah. Bye, everybody. Yay, yoga.
Yay, yoga.
I know, right?